Rad Solutions. Add-on desired.
Welcome to Rad Solutions. This is Srikanth for English. We are here with an adventure from class 6, unit 4, reading A. See the picture that has been presented on the board? What do you see in the picture? A girl being awarded with something, and behind the people there is bravery awards for the courage. Sometimes you must have had an adventure in your life. On the way to home, maybe when you wanted to get into your agriculture field, maybe when you are trying to get something from your store, probably you might be having an adventure. If you don't have, you might have seen one, or you might have heard about the adventure. You might have seen on National Geography or some documentary film about the adventure. There are a few people who are awarded with adventure. What is an adventure? For example, you want to write something about the adventure. What do you write? Something that you feel or something that you want to see in your imagination is also an adventure. You adventure for something. So here the award is given for bravery, for the adventure. Why do you think the girl was given the bravery award? Why do you think the girl was given bravery award? Maybe something was done. Something great was done by the little girl. Let us see what could be the adventure that gets connected to the picture here in the lesson. Let's go, said Seema, or it will be time for lunch before we know it. So let's go. Go where? To somewhere. Let's play. Let's run out. Let's enjoy. So this is the dialogue said by Seema. What did she say? Let's go, or it will be time for lunch before we know it. Before we know it, it could be lunch time. So let us try to know what is that they are trying to know. Yes, let's go towards the old temple. Let's try to go to the old temple and let's try to know a little about the old temple. When we go to a particular place, if there is a place which is a tourist spot, we prefer like going there if it is our first visit. And sometimes purposely we take a ticket to move to the tourist spot and try to know a little about that particular tourist spot. At that place where Seema and Arun were there is a old temple, and they would like to know a little about the old temple. They want to know a little about the old temple, right? It's good. When we are in Hyderabad, we will try to know a little about Hyderabad. We try to know about Charminar. We try to know about Golconda Fort. We try to know about the temples and the stadiums and the tourist spots that we have in Hyderabad. Okay, so just like that, these people prefer to go to the old temple to know a little about the old temple. As always, they had to come to Vishnupur on a vacation to their grandparents. So every vacation, like during the summer holidays, you people, you prefer to go to your grandparents, right? Maybe to your father's family or your mother's family. You go there and spend some time with them for about a week or a fortnight, maybe for a month. You prefer staying there. So these people, every time they have holidays, be it summer holidays or some other vacation, they would come to Vishnupur on a vacation to their grandparents. It was a small, quiet town surrounded by green hills, some ancient ruins. It is a quiet, it is small, and it is surrounded by what? Ancient, destructed buildings. Some buildings they would get destroyed. For example, when you go to Warangal, you see the palaces of the people, the yesteryear people who ruled Warangal or who were staying in Warangal, the kings and the queens and the soldiers, right? So what do? You prefer like going there. So this is a small town which is quiet and which has some ancient ruins. They particularly loved going for walks and spent hours exploring the old temple in a fort nearby. So these people, they go to a fort nearby, they explore, in the sense they go around, try to know a little about that temple, try to read everything that has been presented on the walls, and try to ask some people to know about the old temple, or there would be some tourist guides who would try to help them to know a little about them. So these people, they prefer to go on walk all the time. They come here to the Vishnupur, they go on a walk to the old temple, to a nearby fort. Sometimes they pretended to be rulers of ancient kingdom. Sometimes they pretend like they sit on a throne like stone and they would say, ha ha ha, I am the king, right? Rajati Raja, Raja Marthanda. They may say that. Evarakkada? Maybe they would utter the dialogue. So they pretend like to be kings or the queens. They pretend like they would order people, right? So that's how they would enjoy. At other times they played hide and seek, and other times when they explore about the old temple, when they try to know a little about the old temple, when they feel bored, like prefer like doing something, they would play hide and seek. They would play hide and seek. Ruins, collapsed or decayed buildings, destructed buildings. Example, the ruins of ancient Indian buildings strike the imagination. Synonyms, remnants, debris. Antonyms, creation or erection. Explore, to search or travel through, to know a little or to try to know about the place where you are exploring. Example, the board will explore ways to reinstitute this valuable program. Synonyms, roam or trek. Antonyms, stay or sit tight. Pretend, to claim, to allege, especially when falsely or as a form of deliberate deception. Example, I do not pretend that my history can be genuinely value free. Synonyms, affect or fake. Antonyms, deny or reveal. Catch me if you can. What are they doing? They are playing hide and seek game, right? Catch me if you can, shouted Arun, and he ran ahead. Uttering this dialogue, he ran away. And now it is the turn of Seema to find out where Harun hid himself, right? I will catch you in a minute, replied Seema as she followed. I'll catch you in a minute, in a fraction of a second. I'll catch you, because for many times we have been here in the old temple, and they are very much familiar with every nook and corner of the temple. Arun was soon out of the sight as he went round the corner. Arun was very soon, he was out of sight. He went away. He hid himself somewhere behind the rocks, behind the walls, behind the pillars somewhere in the old temple. Seema knew his favorite hiding place and smiled to herself, thinking, he won't escape me. Seema is well aware of the place where Arun likes to hide himself, because quite a number of times they played the game hide and seek, and Seema is well aware because quite a number of times she found him in the particular place where Arun liked to hide himself. She ran down the hill towards the old temple where she knew Arun would be hiding. She went to the place where Arun liked to stay or hide, but he wasn't there. She went there, but he wasn't present. He was not seen. He was nowhere seen. He must have gone to the cave. To the place, maybe some other place. He wanted to play a trick with his sister, right? Every time hiding in the same place would make Seema to find him very soon. So he might have gone to some other place. So she thought he went to a cave the nearby cave. This was another favorite place for them. This was another favorite place. There was one for Arun where she could not find him, and there was another cave, maybe probably he would be there. Probably he would be there. A cave hidden behind some creepers. What are the creepers? You might have seen the creepers which travel to the building, which travel to the tree, right? The creepers. Tegalu antam manam Telugulo. Creeper, any plant as ivy or periwinkle that grows by creeping, especially a climbing plant. Example, the house is surrounded by creepers. Synonyms, climber or vine. Arun, I am here, Seema called out as she reached the cave. As she was about to reach the cave, she shouted out, Arun, I am coming, I am going to catch you, because I know your favorite place, right? There was no reply. Arun did not reply, because if he replied, she would exactly know the place where the sound had come from, right? So she could catch him immediately. So Arun did not reply, and he was quiet. Seema could not see anymore. Seema could not see anyone. Seema could not see anyone. There wasn't anybody over there. There wasn't Arun, there wasn't anybody else, there were no tourists over there. She was about to enter the cave when she caught sight of a piece of stone. She was about to enter into the cave, and she had seen a small piece of paper, and that attracted her. Crumpled paper on the ground. It was crushed. The paper was crushed. When she opened, there could be something, right? So don't know why she got attracted to that. Maybe that could be the only paper that was present over there. Maybe that paper was good and a new paper, right? So here there was a paper which attracted Seema, and she found it, and it was crushed. It was disordered, right? She picked it up and unfolded it. She picked it up, she unfolded it, she opened it. There could be something written. How odd. It had letters CLP written on it. What was written? CLP. Just then she heard Arun calling out, Seema, where are you? Now Arun called out, Seema, where are you? Because he waited for some time. He waited for some time, but she didn't come. There was a dialogue by Seema to which Arun did not respond. After that, there was no dialogue from Seema, and Arun was expecting that she would be there in the cave anytime, but Seema got caught up by a piece of paper, and she was standing there. She was standing there. Okay. Yeah. Here, said Seema to Arun. Okay, here she lifted up the hand and she said, I am here, you may come here, right? Who was standing at the entrance of the cave? Seema was standing at the entrance of the cave, and I was looking for you. Okay, so I was looking for you. Seema said, I was looking for you. Crumple, to press into wrinkles by crushing together. By crushing together, you might crush the paper, right? When you don't like something on the paper, what do? You just tear it, crush it, and throw it in the dustbin, right? Yeah, crumple. Example, all at once something inside in brain seemed to crumple up. Synonyms, fold or screw up or compress or twist. Okay, squeeze. Okay, next, antonyms, unscrew, unfold. What have you got in your hand? Asked Arun. Why did you stand up there? Do you have something in your hand? What is that you have in your hand? It's nothing, just a piece of paper with CLP written on it, said Seema. It's nothing but a piece of paper. Like you get on the road, like you get one in your classroom, like you get one in the school premises, right? So it's just a piece of paper, and what is written on it? CLP. What is written? CLP is written on it, right? Yeah. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Arun says this dialogue. Don't throw it. Let me see it. Don't throw it. Let me also see it. Is it just a piece of paper or something else? He wanted to check it. Who? Arun wanted to check it. As he took the paper from her, he looked looked at it carefully and said, see, if you look at the tone edge of the letter, which could be an E or not a C. So when you tear the paper, you don't understand whether it is C or E, but when you observe the paper, you understand that that could be E, it's not C. That could be E, it's not C. Okay, so probably, do you think it could be help? Asked Seema. Do you think the word could be help? Probably. That is the adventure that these two people have today. So do you think that could be help? Yeah, help. Oh my goodness, somebody is in trouble. We must find him. When she said that could be the word help, and immediately Arun said, oh my goodness, this could be help. Somebody here is in need of help. Somebody is in trouble here in this cave. Maybe we need to find him or her and help them. Or her, added Seema. Could be him or could be her. But where do we go? There is no one in the temple, or there is no one in the cave too. Where do we go? How can we find? There is nobody in the temple. There is nobody in the cave. You don't find anyone here, even tourist guides and tourist people, right? So nobody is here. So how can you find them? Let's try the Meena Bazaar. Let's try and let's go to the Meena Bazaar and we'll try to find if there is someone tied up or kidnapped. There is a secret passage. There is a secret passage through which people can go, through which people can travel, right? So said Arun excitedly, there is some way through which you can go to the other side. Meena Bazaar was once a popular market for royal ladies, but all that remained now was just a few crumbling walls. Okay, so you can find the destructive or destroyed walls in Meena Bazaar. It was a popular marketplace for royal ladies, but now it is just having the stones, just having the buildings which have been collapsed. Okay, so we can go through the passage. A secret passage was connected to the market. There is a secret passage which would be connected to the Meena Bazaar. They ran towards it. They rushed because they wanted to help somebody who is in the passage, right? So there they found a man with his hands and feet tied up. There they found a man whose hands and feet were tied up, okay, and he had a gag on his mouth and was struggling to free himself. There is something, the waistcloth was put inside in order to prevent him not to talk, right? So he was tied up, his hands and legs were tied up, and waistcloth or the paper was put in the mouth so that he could not talk. The children removed the gag and helped him free his hands and feet. Immediately they pulled out the cloth and they untied the rope. Immediately got up, and let us see how these people helped and how they came out of the Meena Bazaar. Passage, a long narrow way through. Example, the front door opens onto a central passage. Synonyms, path or way. Antonyms, block or barrier. Crumbling, breaking or cracking into pieces. The pieces, the destroyed or destructive buildings, right? Example, any moment these walls may crumble upon us. We have to be careful, right? Synonyms, collapse or smash. Antonyms, build or develop. Gag, a piece of cloth put in person's mouth to prevent him from speaking. Example, the boy was gagged before he was kidnapped. Synonyms, rape or bind, probably not, yeah, bind or tied up, Antonyms, this is not, this could be wrap, he was wrapped, okay, wrapped, okay, yeah. Antonyms, allow or disperse. Hurry, the man said, the smugglers will be back. So the man who got freed from the ropes immediately said, let us rush or the smugglers will come. They ran all the way through the secret passage. They quickly ran away from the secret passage out of Meena Bazar, from the temple and from the cave, right? So they were soon out of breath. They were out of breath. They were out of breath, right? After running for some time, you feel like out of breath, right? They were out of breath. Don't stop at, panted the man. With the out of breath, he was starting, don't stop, let's move, right? So some kind of panting, right? They will be back in a moment. The smugglers will be back in a moment. We have to rush. They may be behind us. They may kill us. They may catch us. So let's move fast. Soon they reached home. Their grandparents were surprised to see them. Soon they reached home. Their grandparents were surprised to see them. Now tell us, who are you? Seema asked the man. And who tied you up? Asked Arun. And why? Continued Seema. I'll tell you the whole story, but first call the police, said the man. Okay, so they reached the grandparents. Immediately Seema asked, who are you and who tied up? The man said he would tell everything. So before I tell, please call the police. And in the presence of the police, I would reveal everything. That was what the man said. Smugglers, persons involved in moving goods illegally or in out of a country. Example, the police caught gold smugglers at the railway station. Synonyms, pirates, traffickers. Antonyms, custom officers. Pant, a quick breathing, a catching of breath or a gasp. Example, kids were panting as they ran for a short distance. Synonyms, breathe or sniff. Antonyms, conceal or contrast. The police arrived in no time. The police arrived in no time. The man they had freed was a police officer in plain clothes. The man who they had freed was a police officer. The police officer was kidnapped, in fact. He was tied up in the passage, right? He was following a gang of smugglers who had caught him and tied him up. Actually, he was following a gang of smugglers. Okay, he wanted to find them, he wanted to catch them, he wanted to arrest them. As he was following, the smugglers caught him and they tied him up in the passage. Before that, he had managed to write help on a piece of paper and had thrown it, hoping that someone would find it. Okay, before they could kidnap him, before they could catch him, before they could tie him up, he wrote a piece of paper, help, and he threw it, and he knew that somebody would find to help him. They were going to kill me, but thanks to you I am safe. We will now go and catch the smugglers, said the man. Thanks to you, because of you I am alive today, otherwise the smugglers might have killed me. Okay, so now along with the other police officers he would go to the cave or the passage or to the old temple to find the smugglers and to arrest them. What an adventure! Wait till I tell my friends about it, said Seema. Wait, I am going to tell this to my friends. When we do something great, what do? We prefer like telling to everybody, right? So this is what happened here. So Seema wanted to tell somebody. They'll never believe us. Arun said, they'll never believe us. That's enough, children. It is time for lunch, said Granny. So that's enough. Whatever the thing that you had is enough. You didn't have your lunch. Come have your lunch. So this is an adventure of two kids for which they were awarded. In the first slide you might have seen a girl was awarded, right? So that was for which she was awarded. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on design.